to the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. Show number 113. Getting involved, if you can believe that. 113
Wow.
Jimmy Palumbo shows. Of course, I am coming to you live from downtown Mawa, from my shitty kitchen studios. More on that in a minute. Of course, behind the glass, coming from downtown Matawan, from the Chop Sports Studios, Christopher Gucci. Chris, how we doing today?
I'm good, bro. I think this makes like 9 straight episodes that I've showed up.
You are definitely the Joe DiMaggio here, as you mentioned last week. This is the most consistent you've ever been, which, you know, that means you'll have kidney stones.
I think I'm like hitless in the nine games that I've showed up though. So it's not like I'm actually doing anything well when I'm playing, but
you're in the lineup.
I'm in the lineup.
You're there. You so wonderfully promote my show. I know at least your mother and father listen.
They do. And how about this? A lot of my a lot of people listen to the show that I know. A lot. So, you know,
well, we're gonna be touching on a lot of that as you cough. Well, this is show number 113, and of course, I got something unique. I don't know how to do it, but I'll try to do it. My guy, I guess I'm going to get to it later in the show, and you'll understand later. My guy is a guy. Here it is, right here. Okay, a 92 card, Henry Cotto. He was on the Yankees. Now listen, this guy is the classic on the Yankees. Troy Chabaro hopping in here. My blood alcohol content, at least not 1.16. First of all, Henry Cotto represents bad Yankees, okay? I mean, he played with the Yankees in 85, 86, 87. He was like a journeyman outfielder, played a little bit of all positions. Wasn't a power hitter. He just was a generic mid-80s, like not a good player. But he played with the Cubs, Yankees, Seattle, and the Marlins. He's from Puerto Rico. Played from 84 to 93, so somehow he got 9 years in the bigs. His lifetime batting average was 261. He had 569 hits, 44 home runs. Just one of those guys. He got traded to the Yankees with Rich Bordy and Ron Babe Hasse, one of my other favorite shitty Yankees. And Ron Hasse hit like 6 home runs in like 60 games. After they call him Babe Ruth Hasse as a joke. The announcer did anyway. Listen, the guy didn't do much. His card here, he's a clear spokes guy. And I'm going to tell you why I did not get this card from my regular stack, and more on that in a bit. But he coached with Seattle for a while, and then he coached with as of right now, I believe he's the manager of the Arizona Farm League Giants. I don't even think he's doing that anymore. He's just one of those bad era Yankees. When Mattingly and Winfield were smacking the ball.
Honestly, I've never even heard of him. And I guess that's a little right before I started watching the Yankees.
Right.
But even when I was
before your time,
I knew who the players were, but
not this guy. You wouldn't know Henry Cotto. Matter of fact, it's from the club series of Topps cards.
Top Stadium Club.
There you go, which I'm going to get to in a second. So that's it. My guy, Henry Cotto. I know my brother's driving off the road right now. So is Steve Venditti. This is a classic in the spokes guy. Atrocious, as Troy kicks in. Amy Rossi. How you doing, Amy? What's happening? One of my
all right. So obviously my guy
Facebook.
Is definitely better than your guy. I think my guy's probably even too good for this, but I figured I'd bring it up because I was reading an interesting article about the Dodgers' salary. And in 1984, this guy signed the biggest salary in history, team history at the time for the Dodgers. And it was Pedro Guerrero. He won the World Series MVP against the Yankees in 81. Good player, 300 career hitter, 200 something home runs. But he signed a 5-year, $7 million deal in 1984. And that was the richest deal
I remember him very well. Yeah. Wow, how much was it for? 80 million? Not even.
$7
million.
5 years, $7 million. So he was.
I think when Reggie signed in 77, I think his was only like $3 million for 5 years or something like that.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, that was. I guess it goes up every year, but still.
Pedro Guerrero. Now, is that Pedro Vladimir's dad?
No.
Okay.
No. Vladimir Guerrero dad
is Vladimir
is
Guerrero.
Vladimir Guerrero.
Maybe it's his uncle. I mean, come on now.
It could be, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Dominicans that with the last name Guerrero. I would be
Guerrero.
if I was a betting man.
All right, so we got Pedro Guerrero, big signing back in the anything. What he's doing now?
I think he just has baseball camps, and he's doing baseball camps in the DR. And born 56, so he's how old is he? What does that make him? 69.
All right.
Still doing baseball camps. He probably could still hit bombs.
I think he tells people he is Vladimir Guerrero's grandfather or something like that. So, isn't there a fourth one now, like a Vlad the Third or something coming up, or was that?
No,
who am I thinking?
I mean, maybe. I'm sure.
Some kind of brawny of the Guerreros. All right, so Pedro Guerrero and Henry Cotto, two. I assure you that Henry Cotto didn't.
He's saying we got someone, Louis Viccidomini saying Pedro had something going on with OJ at one point.
Oh, they were friends, I guess, from the L.A. Could be. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, you know what? We might have solved it. We might, if this show can prove OJ innocent, I think we would get more ratings, don't you think?
So who did it? You're saying Pedro Guerrero?
Pedro Guerrero killed OJ's wife? Is that what,
we got?
Is that what you're saying?
Reggie signed for 5 years, $3.5 million in 77. 5 years, $3.5 million.
There you go. Good job by Troy on that one. That's crazy. Now the money, that's like, that's like some of the Yankees deserve to get paid like that.
That's an incentive now. If you make the postseason and you bat 270, you make an extra $3 million.
That's right. Well, that's it. So we got Pedro Guerrero and Henry Cotto. More on how I got the Henry Cotto in a minute. But this entire show, of course, is sponsored by, that's right, Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326.
Eyes.
Oh, the delay. The delay on the bounce pass back door is so bad. The announcer just said, and Chris cutting to the hole. He's not there in time.
I heard Dave was supposed to come on and do his cameo for Absolute Eyewear, but he bitched out.
He bailed because he don't care. All right. Absolute Eyewear, 42 Main Street, 732-326-3937, down by the train station. It is owned by Craig and Janine Mashaw. Getting involved. Great people. Full service opticians. They got everything. Prescription glasses, safety glasses, all that stuff. You get $100 off. If you get a pair. They're longtime sponsors of the show, and as well the Jimmy Chop Sports. You get $100 off if you just mention me or Chris or Chop Sports. They'll take care of you. It's got to be 2 pairs though. They've been in business like 18 years now, and they're open 5 days a week. They're closed on Wednesdays. Why?
That would be softball.
And they're closed on Sundays. Why?
Football Giants.
That's right. Football Giants are on the air. And, of course, you got Craig Janine, the all-time leader. I believe I had to discuss this with Craig. He might be the all-time leader based upon playing softball for 10 years in strikeouts. And I'm not talking about the ones like when you foul 2 strikes, you foul one off. I'm talking about pure landing on the plate. I know he's the all-time leader. That's for sure. But swinging and missing, he might be. I have to check with Janine on that. She's mad at me right now if she's listening live because she knows I'm mocking out her brother. But he used to strike. Matter of fact, I just said, Craig, never go to 2 strikes. Swing at the first pitch. It would be like bases loaded. Craig, swing at the first. Because when he hit the ball, he hit rockets. Supposedly he had the longest home run in Corona history. I wasn't there. If I'm not there, look at my sister saying you're not being nice. First of all, you don't even remember the early Craig. Craig was a young, strong Italian
Craig,
stallion.
The home run. I don't know. I know of some players that have played for Corona. There's been some.
Craig, supposedly he hit one off the center field lamppost at Warren Park, halfway up the pole. My cousin Joey says it's true. I wasn't there. He would show up. He had the guns hanging out, the gold chains. He would bring different chicks every week. He brought a different chick to a game. And I always tell this story because it's funny as hell to me. He was dating this for a brief second, this gorgeous blonde. She was lights out. We're at Strawberries. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, Craig, this girl's smoking out. The next week, he brings another girl equally. It was like he was dating Jordan, and then LeBron was there. And of course, he married the second one, his wife. But I was like, Craig, he goes, I found the right one. I found the right one. Yeah, good for him. He married her. He's a great girl. But Craig was, and his kids are great, the whole bit. Listen, I like to bust Craig, but I'm very good friends with him. I love him. And he is part of Absolute Eyewear. There was years where we thought Janine was better because she was playing the women's softball league. And so anyway, go check them out. Absolute Eyewear, 732-326-3937. They have your attention, please. Now available at Absolute Eyewear. Ray-Ban, Coach, Ralph Lauren, Dave Sturchio's Jimmy Choo, Silhouette, Michael Kors, Vogue, Maui Jim, Costa Del Mar, and Charles Oakley hangs out there. That's it. Go check it out. Absolute Eyewear. Now, Chris, more important things. Giancarlo Stanton's number 27, right? And I only have 27 Patreons. We are mired. It's not even a slump. It's actually like cuttable. Like if I was a player, I'd be cut right now. This is bad.
You're not playing. You're out.
But no, this is bad.
You're on the IL. You're on the IL.
This is bad.
You might have to get transferred to the 60 days.
I can't believe someone's got to be 28 years old out there. Someone's favorite player has to be number 28. Something has to go on here.
What I'm thinking, honestly, is you're taking up a roster spot at this point. You might have to get transferred to the 60-day.
The headquarters
room for someone else on the 40-man because right now, I don't know.
The headquarters at Patreon right now are, first of all, Joe Rogan's office. They're not even. We're just a blip now.
Right now, they're doing some. They're having some conversations.
This is what happens.
Talking about a buyout. There's a buyout being talked about. It's saying, hey, what could we throw this guy right now to, All
right. First of all, this is what happens when you open up the chat room. Okay, this is what happens. Now you get, everybody knows a lot of my family members are on the Patreon, okay? But then you get a jerk off from Louisiana, Daryl E. Clark, who I thought I was tight with. He just writes, no one wants to join Patreon of someone who bails on a 5K. We're going to get to that in just a second. My friend Robin's even laughing at that. Horrific. I'll get to all of that. But I want to rattle off my fine Patreon members. So it's Alex Stetsena, the piano tuner guy from Ramsey, my sister Mary Eileen, Michael DeMosi, my mom, Joe Palumbo, Robert Pastor, Capasig from the 80s, James Kanowitz, and we will be talking about James Kanowitz later on in the show. So stick around for that one. Jimmy Riccardi, my nephew, big Knicks fan, he's sad right now. John Henry Riccardi, back in the States. Eric Palumbo, Michael Caprio, my brother Frank, CFO of the entire program. Daryl Clark from Louisiana. I'm glad you're listening, jerk off. Greg Casalino, Mike Shecky, the Dolphin fan. Dave Ben, 16 years of school. Pat Volkemer, Patty, the best chop sport poster ever. Martin Walsack, Colonial Boy, Maka Deej, Janine Mashaud, Robert Achani. She's laughing. She's on the chat board here. John Henry, my cousin. Greg Alpern, my partner in crime with Beer League, the series here at Shea. Then we got Bobby Palumbo, Tommy Palumbo, who just graduated from Virginia Tech. Tyson Hogan, the mystery man. We don't know who that is. And also coming in at number 27, Giancarlo Stanton's Louis Vichadomini. So, all right. I get it. Listen, I'm in the business of show. And everybody was down on me saying I would not compete in the 5K. I would not pass the under the 31. And I get it. And I was training last week, okay? I was walking, jogging. I ran the course once. I ran a half course a bunch of times. I was playing pickleball. Now, right around Thursday, I guess it was Friday morning, my ankle started to bark. And I was like, uh-oh. And then I got my nephew, John Henry's listening. He's another jerk off. You know what? This show is called Everyone's a Jerk Off Till Further Notice, including myself. All of a sudden, dude, listen to me. My heel and ankle, I was like, uh-oh. Then I'm like, I'll be all right. And so I was like, I tried everything, heat, cold. I was like, I got to run it. Then I figured, all right, I'll just run it very slow. I'll be like, an aging LeBron. I'll get through it. I'll finish in 70 minutes, but I'll get through. Dude, I woke up Saturday morning at 5:30. I was like, I got to wait, see if I can loosen it up. I almost peed myself because I couldn't get to the bathroom. It was swollen. It was hurting. My sister's typing in snail. Now I got to call my sister a jerk off. That's not fair. And I was going to say a nice thing about my sister later on in the show. Anyway, I couldn't move. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't run it. So I went into a panic. I tried ice. I was like, I got to run this thing. Finally, I realized I couldn't get down the stairs to my car. So the first thing I did was call my buddy Dave because he was going to shoot some video. I was like, Dave, Jimmy Palumbo cannot run the 5K. I am on the disabled list. I am out. I couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
I was like, and now I get it. Listen,
there's only
I would be
out there that may have said that was a possibility. I thought you would run it. The injury put the writing on the wall Thursday. I said, well, there's no shot. I started giving options to all the people that placed bets with me. I said, look, I'll give you guys a fair out now.
To me, all bets were off.
50%. Oh, no. The books, it depends on the book.
No. I'm the book.
No,
all bets
part
bets
of
were
the bet
off.
was, will Jimmy even run? And then people, I was saying that's 2-1. I was taking 2-1 on will Jimmy even run? Then secondary to that, we had one of those big checks made up. We donated money to a fund, a charity, right?
See that? The
Chop Sports had this big check for Jimmy at the finish line. We had Chris D'Elia said, I'll be on the podcast next week if Jimmy finishes his 5K in under 31 minutes. He's out. Now he's out.
Listen to me. Those of you scoring at home, I was starting to get I was starting to go into a little Ali shuffle during my training. I was feeling good. I was playing a lot of pickleball.
My Venmo will be there'll be a link in the description of the show. My Venmo will be in there later. So on the playback, you could go in and make it's at Chris Gucci. If nobody knows how to spell that, the Venmo link.
The only bet that wins or loses is the one, would he actually run the race? All bets are frozen. I talked with FanDuel. They agreed. Everything. John Boy Sports is covering it. They were going to put it. They were going to do a whole thing on my ankle. Now I did get X-rays, and there is some kind of. I'll read this to you live. I'll even hold it up. Here you go. Okay, the official City MD. It is a calcaneal spur, which is like a bone spur from calcium, whatever. Blah blah.
Guys, he got that off of Chat GPT. The AI is really, really impressive these days. So he went and he said, hey, how do I get, what is it called?
See this?
A bone
trust.
Trust.
This is why Jimmy Palumbo is at the end of, you know what I am? I am the Derrick Rose of Chop Sports now. Okay. I'm a clubhouse guy. That's what it is. Well, let me tell you something. But so now,
Derrick Rose now they're looking to buy him out.
Now hang on, kids. Hang on here. I got an appointment tomorrow, 10 o'clock with Dr. Tony Sergi, Colonia boy. I'll be in Edison, New Jersey by 10:10, Wins News Time. But there's also a rumor here. Robin Achani wanted to have somebody pinch hit for me on the run, which would have been great. But I can't find anybody of my age to run a 5K. The best case scenario for me right here, it could be a gout scenario. I'm not sure 100%. When I talked to Tony on the phone, he was like, well, what have you been doing all week? And of course I was running, sweating like a big, what beat me was the 4.5 mile walk/run I did. I guess it was Wednesday. And that I was sweating like a pig. When I don't rehydrate, I suck. Could be, I don't know for sure. Tomorrow we're going to get X-rays.
What we're going to say is, guys, look, health is more important. Thank God Jimmy did not compete this past Saturday because he walked down the steps and he had a gout flare up. So if he would have ran 5K,
I would have.
I don't know. The wheels might have come off.
I definitely would. Now I was going to run. There's a race on Saturday. I was going to run it, but I said, you know what? That's crazy. I may play a little pickleball this week just to test it, see how it is. But I'm going to wait. There's 5Ks all over. There's some kind of website called sign up. And you go in there, it shows you like every running race. There's pretty much a 5K every weekend. I will run very, very, very soon a 5K. And I'm going to still actively continue to get in shape.
And I think realistically, I think really the Vegas odds have shifted a little bit now because it's actually I'll actually give better odds now. Like the time isn't going to get better. As you get more time to train for this, in my estimation, it's more time to get fat.
First of all,
and more time to further yourself.
No, but the diet is part of it. There's no doubt. First of all, I'll make
It's
another
the
prediction.
summer, bro.
When I run the
Summer's
5K,
coming, bro.
when I run the 5K, I will definitely finish the first mile on pace. Would you
agreed.
bet
And
that?
then
You got to get, because you can break down these bets, Chris.
Yeah, like I agree to that. Round 1, Jimmy, the odds might shift, but middle of round 2, it's going to be a heavy dump. You better
I'm looking
cash
for an
out.
uppercut early, and if
You
I
better
don't get
cash
it,
out, bro. You better
First
hope
of all,
that
I'm
third
telling you
mile
right
is
now,
downhill,
first of all,
and you can just roll, tuck and
under
roll.
31 minutes, you're acting like I'm sprinting here. I'm like Jesse Owens. It's not that fast. 31 minutes actually sucks.
I know what a 10-minute pace is in a mile, and I know that somebody that
now you're a big runner, or were you from?
No. But if I'm running a mile, I'm probably at right now. I would probably run it at a 10-minute mile pace. I'm not, but so I don't die. That would be what it is. But I wouldn't be able to keep on running after a while with just no training. I mean, I know for a fact that's a pretty good pace to keep up over 3 miles uphill.
I believe I can do it. Some people,
That's the thing. If it's on a track, you still would have no chance. But it's not on a track. That adds an element of things that just you're not ready to deal with. You're not ready to deal with a long hill. It'll kill you.
Yeah,
it will kill you.
You see that? But if you're on a nice pace, steady, even listen.
And then
I got Teresa Talifer here, or Teresa. Teresa, you have to spell it out for me. I forget how, because there was Teresa Peichel. I think you're Teresa. No, you're Teresa Talifer. Teresa. I'm pretty sure it's Teresa.
So
I forgot how to say your first name. I remember you very well.
There is no
and thanks
shot.
for listening.
And there's still not going to be a shot. I think it'll be fun to build it up again.
That's why your sports picks are always shitty.
No, they're not.
They're absolutely not. You don't know what you're talking about.
That's absolutely.
Anyway, listen. The bottom line is an injury. We're both Teresa. That's so funny. The injury happened, and that's it. I can't. Nothing I could do. And we're going to move on from the 5K talk because we have a very big show here. A lot of interesting things happen.
Okay? Yeah, the Knicks suck.
Okay, no, but I'm not even going to get to that. So I'm playing pickleball last week.
Rizzo.
Right? Yeah, he's doing well. That's because Stan's not there staring him down, calling him a wuss. Okay, wait till August happens. So I'm playing pickleball with this guy, Tom. I'm not going to give his last name. And his lovely wife, Natalie. She's a doll. They're very good pickleball players. And he likes to talk trash, which I love. And people get intimidated by Tom. Not me. I'm right there. He's just better than me. But I got my new paddle. I'm getting in shape more. I'm coming for you, Tom. Anyway, we start BSing. And it turns out, he's like, you got a podcast. Maybe I have a business. Maybe I'll another Palumbo getting another sponsor from pickleball, right? So I said, what do you do? He's like, well, I own carpet cleaners, a bunch of them all over the United States. It's the Oxy Magic USA carpet cleaning. So we were just BSing. I was telling him what I do, the podcast, Chop Sports, a whole bit. And then he's like, well, why don't I send, you got carpets? I said, yeah. He goes, why don't I send the guy? I'll give you, we'll test it out. So this morning, a lovely man named Brian came to my apartment, cleaned my carpets. They look very clean and neat. My sister will be very happy about that. Not that they were that dirty, but you get where you commonly walk and all that stuff. And they came here and listen, this place, it's oxymagicUSA.com. Go check it out. Not only do they have cleaners all over the state of New Jersey, they also have some, I don't know if you call it a franchise scenario, but they are looking for new ones to open up all over the state. So if you please go check it out at oxymagicUSA.com. oxymagicUSA.com. My buddy Tom and Natalie, they own the whole damn thing. It's awesome. And he's a good guy, competitive as hell. He could probably run a 5K under 31 minutes. But go check them out. They do a great job. They do this whole process. No chemicals. It dries quick. It's that whole thing. And it's great. So if I see him later on, I'm going to bust his balls about his carpeting and try to beat his ass in pickleball. OxyMagicUSA.com, a potential new sponsor for the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. That being said, they also do like upholstery and they do grout and all this different stuff. So give him a call, bust his balls, tell him Palumbo sent you, and we'll go from there. And another big news, Christopher, big news here at Shea. Another one of my fans, I actually have fans. Now I can't find the damn thing. Here it is. Mike Klaus, which I talked about a little bit last week. He's in this Signature, Nonstop Signature Company. They do
I saw
promotional
it. I
items.
saw it.
Okay.
I
He
looked
actually,
into it.
and this is great. This is going to be shitty for the audio, but check this out. He went out, and I now have my official baseball card, the Jimmy Palumbo Ed's Bar and Swill baseball card. He made 3 different ones. What do we got here? That's me and Lang and Ralph Macchio. That'll probably be a hot seller. As Johnny Trino. So how many players have 2 baseball cards? And also me sitting at the bar where I'm most comfortable. So with Deej in the background, which is great. So now I have baseball cards now, officially. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'm probably I got to give these away to my non-family member Patreon.
So how many do you have?
I only got like a stack of, I don't know, maybe 25 or something like that. So I'll have to send, I'll make sure Chop Sports gets some.
You should.
I know you want to hang them on your new
First
studio.
of all, Jimmy, I have another business it's called Break Bud Sports Cards. We do sports breaks, and we'll do a little giveaway. Give it to Jimmy Palumbo. We'll do it. Trust me, it's fun. You might get some.
I will.
Cross promotion out of it.
Let me find out.
But I need it to be signed.
Yeah, well, on the back, let me give you an idea. Really, that's what it's all about. Being signed on the back.
Did you sign it? Oh, you have an autograph thing. There you go. You should also ask him to get like if he could do this, say series 2, right, of Jimmy Palumbo cards.
He's listening probably.
Okay, good. See if you can get him numbered. He'll know what I mean. Say numbered to 10.
Okay, but don't you have to, when you sign it, someone has to be taking a picture of me signing them? How do you authenticate?
There's a few ways, but
we have to. Well, listen,
that's
secretary stuff.
You go to one of these shows that are local, and it's an autograph show, and usually they have authenticators right there, so you could pay $15 to get something authenticated.
I will get these authenticated. Order some more. I'll send them to my friends and family.
If you really want to get some authenticated, I can. I'll
well, yeah, I know I have to sign it in front of somebody.
I'm sure he can too.
Right. Of course, Daryl Clark. Now you want a card, Daryl, huh? Giving me shit at the beginning of the show. You get nothing.
He wants several cards.
LSU sucks. The Saints suck. I'll take care of you, brother. Don't worry about him while I bust your chop. All right, so that's big. Also, in other news, what the hell did I do with it? Oh, here it is. James Kanowitz, my Patreon, the guy you can't get in touch with, he did the coolest thing, and I'm going to do this live. He sent me 4 packs of old baseball cards that are new with the gum inside, so we have to open this up live.
Bro, that's great. I did this on your show with that exact set.
I know. It must be the cheap year.
With the shitty gum.
So he sent these to me. I'm going to add it to my stack to do the opening of the show with. Oh, look at the gum broke in half. Let's see if I can get this in here. There's the gum right there. Should I eat it? Nah, I'll probably get sick, right?
You know Joe, right? My buddy Joe.
Yes, I know Joe very well.
He ate it. He ate the gum about a month ago. He was like, "I'll try it."
Did he get sick?
It just turned to dust. You ever see Indiana Jones when the guy drinks from the wrong Holy Grail and he just disintegrates?
It turns out that's what happens.
That's what happens.
Well, listen, this what you get on there. You get these like cards that are for like promotional items.
You could win a trip to like the '92 World Series.
I'm going to rattle off the players in this stack: Jimmy Key, Mike Hart, Dick Schofield, Luis Aguayo, I remember him, Bill Pacoda, Gary Carter, Mike Fitzgerald, Dave Winfield, all-star card, Gerald Perry, awful, Mark Sullivan, awful, Chuck Finley, I think he was a decent pitcher, if I'm not mistaken, Gene Garber, he's a bad player, Dave Engel, Tony La Russa, manager, and Keith Hughes, not the basketball player on Rutgers. So that's who I got in this card. So I'm going to shove these in, and we'll laugh about these guys at a later time. So I got like 2 gifts from fans. I got my own baseball card, okay? And then I got James Kanowitz sends me like really cool shit. So I'm excited about that. And of course, all of this is brought to you by cornholelevel.com. I'm full of like products today. Here it is right here. Those of you scoring at home, you got a cornhole board, you buy this, you hook it on, you move it around, get it right. Boom, perfect cornhole. You know why, Chris? Because you're the kind of guy. Show up with your little hot girlfriend there, right? Go to a backyard party. It's drizzling.
Bro,
you're in Woodbridge.
I was in the exact setting this weekend. I did the housewarming party,
And you
at my girlfriend's friend's house in Pennsylvania. And guess what they had?
they had cornhole.
They had a crooked cornhole.
Now did you go into your car and go? Were you prepared?
I did, but you know what I did? I
You
didn't
took
do
it back, right?
No, I didn't. I just kind of like had Ashley slide it in and say, "Hey," because I didn't know anybody. I wasn't
There you
trying to
go.
get into any
Well,
conversation.
and
I only had one beer, so I wasn't ready to talk. I wanted to be in and be out. I
I
wanted
hear
in
you. Well,
and
when you got to go to Pennsylvania for a party, that's a pain in the ass. So, but if you go to cornholelevel.com, that's right, and you type in the JP Sports or Chop Sports, you will get 20% off the 1995 cornhole levelers at cornholelevel.com. They're coming out with some Penn State, Rutgers, and Giants and NFL ones. You get licensed for that. They're cool as hell. It makes the board perfect. Go check it out. Cornholelevel.com. Mike Caprio, my second baseman, who came in after Mitch Fishman. That's like filling in for
what
like
does it say on your shirt? Does it say I bitched out? It says I bitched out on the 5K.
That? Listen, I know the difference between you and me is I know I'm going to take some hits today regarding the 5K.
No,
but
I know.
the difference is
I don't go down. So I have to make sure that I deliver on.
With a guy like you, all I got to do is stay on my feet. The 8th, 9th round, you punch yourself out, and then I'll drop you. That's all.
Are you talking about your Jimmy's giving himself the 8th or the 9th?
Yeah,
you're even going 3 or 4, bro, and then you're out.
First of all, I made a health decision. So someone who's been out every other week for the last year.
You got a t-shirt made.
I got baseball cards made of me now. I got baseball packages sent to me.
I don't know what we're gonna do with this big check now, though.
Save it. Just change the date. How about that? Well, listen, we can start talking about my Yankees. Yankees, listen, you know what? I think they're only like 8.5 back now, 7.5 maybe. I thought the Yankees played pretty well against the Rays. Really could have. They was 7 games. They were 3 of 4, but 2 of them were very close. Games went down to the wire. I think the Yankees kind of let the Rays know, all right, you guys are playing great and you got a lead, but like we're in the distance, but we're not completely invisible in the distance. And I think the Yankees could, if they get into the playoffs as a wild card, somehow they play them in the playoffs.
First of all, that lead is very easy to close in on over a month. It takes a week. I'm just saying that. But look, when it happens like that, it happens though. Sometimes look, the Red Sox, they won 9 out of 11 and they were 7 games above 500, but a week before that they were 2 games below. That makes such a big difference.
No, it does.
Yeah, you know, they go 10 and
I'm
2.
not saying the Rays. And also, the Rays are young, and who knows? Some of the Rays may feel the heat.
Pitcher too that I think they're going to probably lose for a while, so that hurts.
So, and the Yankees got some players coming back. Their best player, Giancarlo's coming back. I get what is it? 2 more weeks now.
2 more weeks before they start testing it out, but we'll see.
So I think the start date for Giancarlo is August 20th. I would say.
Yeah,
6 weeks.
If they could. If they can get to that point without him, then
the rusty gate swing he'll have. By the way, I heard someone on the radio saying that Gallo, who's batting 189, but it's a good 189. Chris, when is 189 good ever? I don't care if all your hits were just home runs. It's not a good year.
The only thing that I would say about Gallo that's good is that we have that. There's a pitcher that we got that's kind of lighting it up in the Gallo deal.
So the Gallo is playing well for us now, even though he's a play for us. My Knicks, well, look, they won game 5. They just, again, it's called, as a Rutgers fan, I'm used to this. It's called basketball. You have to put the ball in the basket when you get cold and heat's better. And they just got beat. They played hard. I think, though, personally, and I believe I will be proven right. No, I can't be proven right because what I'm about to say will never happen. I honestly think if the Knicks kept just Brunson and Hart and got rid of every player on that roster via trade, package deal for anybody else and filled that roster out, they would have the same odds to win the championship if they kept all the rosters the same. I think the roster stinks. Also, what annoyed me was Derrick Rose. I mean, nice guy. He's at the end of the bench. He hasn't played in 4 months. Fournier, they're playing him $25 million. He doesn't even play and I know he's not that good, but he's a shooter. And when you're not shooting well, throw him in a game for 5 minutes. You got Obi Toppin, he's just not that good. He's a journeyman player. He's not. He'll never be the difference. And Randall, look, I hate getting on Randall because everyone is, but man, it's such a bad look when he's on the court, man. He looks lazy.
His game is ugly, and honestly, he's a terrible transition defender. He does not get back on defense. And if he's your best player, that's a problem for me.
That's a problem. The Knicks, that's why I think the Knicks should.
You got to hustle, bro.
They got to make wholesale changes.
I don't think Julius Randle hustles, and I think the coach sucks. I just think he sucks.
I don't think they're going to get rid of Thibodeau, but I tell you, he's on the. I give him one more year.
But bro, when you see all these other coaches that are coach of the year 2020, there's some really good names out there right now. The Bucks fired their coach. The Suns fired their coach. The Raptors just fired their coach. You know, there's a lot of guys out there that have been fired over the last couple seasons that have won coach of the year within the last 3 years, won a title.
Do you think the Knicks are going to fire Thibodeau? I don't.
Honestly, I think there's a 50-50 chance right now.
Really? All right. Well, listen, you know what? Let me tell you something. I was 8 years old when the Knicks won it. 8. I was 8. It's been 50 years. I don't care. Fire Thibodeau. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Fire Thibodeau. The same odds of winning the championship. The only good player on the team is Brunson. And he proved it. He's a very, very, is he great? No, very, very good. That being said, I hate all the teams left, except I don't hate Denver. I don't know a Nugget fan. I hate the Heat and the Celtics. And of course, I can't stand LeBron and the Lakers. And I still think everybody says the Lakers are going to get smoked. I'm not so sure about that.
I don't think they're going to get smoked, but
listen, Denver is very good. I'm rooting for Denver, but I'll probably watch very little of the NBA.
I mean, if you watch Denver and you watch their center, you'll be very impressed. I'm telling you that.
I watched the league. He's tough. He's good. I know he want to be best player, one of the best players in the league. But anyway, and the whole Harden thing, I watched a little bit of that. And I'll tell you, the Doc Rivers losing 10 times in 7 games. That's unbelievable. And a lot of them, he was up 3-1. He was up 3-1 or 3-2, I think, in 7 of them. That's nuts. That's awful. Awful. You can't lose game 7 like that. Which brings me to, now, during my health issues, which my ankle's feeling good today, I'll give you that. ChasingMiracles.com. That's right. Go check out the breakthrough technology phototherapy patches used to light and stimulate the body's natural healing systems. I tried, put them on too late. I still feel they've been working though because my heel feels better. Go check it out. It's really cool. These patches, plus they have these hydration packs. Very cool. ChasingMiracles.com. Go talk to Don and Tommy. They'll tell you all about it. They'll send you information. Serena Williams uses them. A bunch of tennis players use them. Some swimmers use them. All these patches.
It's a perfect name for the sponsor of you attempting this 5K. It'll be a miracle if you ever do it. And I think that's something that you'll be chasing for quite some time. And I think it's just it's perfect. Honestly,
I'm telling you, you're making under 30 win minutes. So like I'm breaking the 4-minute mile.
At this point, that's out. 31 minutes. I think we all understand, including yourself.
There's no way.
Is Jimmy going to run a 5K?
See this? You see this? But I started it. I get it. I brought it in. I opened the door. I would be ripping on you if you didn't run.
Today, I'll be cheerful. I'll root you on, and that'll bother you even more. I'll be like, Jimmy, you can do it, bro.
I'm telling you, I will run a 5K under 31 minutes. There's no doubt. All you got to do is train a little bit. I even got more time to train now. Look out, brother love. Look out.
I give you that. Your training regimen that you're posting every day is rigorous.
Yes, listen. Even though it included a liverwurst sandwich in there, but if you notice, I might have had some horrific items, but I didn't eat like crazy all day. So just because you say I have a beer, that's okay.
No.
Or a liverwurst sandwich, you don't know what I ate the rest of the day. Could have been eating salads all day. What do you know? But go check out ChasingMiracles.com. Phototherapy patches.
Unless awesome. You're putting feet on the pavement and you're pounding out miles. Which I know ain't happening.
You see it, pounding the pavement. Okay. It's 5K day here at Shea from the Omni in Atlanta. I got to give a shout out again to my nephew, Tommy Palumbo, Patreon, and now a graduate. My friend Kim Okie hopping in here. I've never seen you eat a salad. It's so funny. The chat boards are lighting up here. Most of the people are just fucking on me, which is fine. I'm a big boy. I could tell. Now, if this was Dave, he'd panic and cry and hang up on us and curse everybody out like he does Pat Volkamer. But I will run a 5K soon enough, and you'll all see.
Drenched in dressing. If he did eat a salad, it would be a lot. It would be ranch.
See this. Anyway, shout out to Tommy Palumbo,
Fried
graduated
chicken
Virginia
fingers.
Tech, and Brad as well, graduated Virginia Tech. Some of the family was down there. Shout out to Madison Palumbo, former intern at Chop Sports. When my niece, by the way, when I was the liaison for interns with the program, I still have the top 4 interns you've ever had there. So that's, again, when it comes to a plaque or a monument at Chop Sports, I will have a monument.
You just had to check. All you had to do is cross the finish line.
And she now is moving on, believe it or not. Madison Palumbo is going to Syracuse for her master's, and Syracuse has an awesome communication broadcasting program, probably the best in the country. In other news, Christopher, we got to discuss. I'm coming to you live from the shitty kitchen studios. But unfortunately, those of you scoring at home, we will soon enough not be broadcasting from the shitty kitchen studios. Why? My landlord is selling this shitty kitchen studios. So it's like the Tampa Bay. I'm like the Raiders here now, okay? Or the Oakland A's, all right? So I have to move. Now, I'll be moving, hopefully staying in Mahwah or Ramsey. Got to be close to my daughter. But the fact, what happened there? Did we just go off? But the fact that, it was me, I have to move is probably the most irritating thing known to me. I have to find a place. I don't know if I'm going to buy or rent yet. I got to look around. Prices here are outrageous. Plus, I got to pack.
Your sister's going to have
my sister's going to come up here. She's going to be pissed off. She's going to be, why are you keeping that? Why are you keeping this? Why are you keeping that? I'm like, my sister.
You're going to deal with it because you're going to need it.
I'm going to need help. I'll probably have to hire a mover. I can't move some of this shit down 3 flights of stairs.
I could think of a couple people that you may have helped move. And this is like a Curb or Seinfeld thing. It's like anybody you've ever helped move a thing, you have a list, and they better show up.
Well, I have
with some work gloves.
Or you just go to Home Depot and yell out, "Hey, who wants to make a quick $100?" But one of the places I looked at does have like a finished basement in a townhouse kind of deal, and that will be the new shitty basement studios out of the kitchen, and just like pickleball, stay out of the kitchen. And I'm going to paint the blue wall. It's going to be like you know what I might call it. Downtown Mahwah.
So you've been looking. You've
I just started looking 3 days ago.
Places. So what I will say is, we'll talk off air about this, but you're going to need a mesh router to get your show working in the basement, and you're going to have to get an extender, which I'll talk to you about.
Because the basement, because this might be the Chop Sports satellite studios. You know what? Chop Sports North Studios. You got to have. It's like Silver Cup has an East and West studios in the city. Chop Sports North.
We'll have Dave come there and film his wrestling show.
Dave's not coming up here. He doesn't go past exit 145. Come on, guy. You ain't coming up here. I'll be alone in the shitty basement studios. All depends on where the router is, by the way. Yes, I will have to check out my mesh and do all that crap, which will suck. So that's news there. Another news, I have a new car, Christopher. It's new to me. I just bought a Lexus, a 2013 Lexus. When I say bought, I just mean my brother drove it up from Florida and gave it to me. So we are in a Lexus. People say, don't tell that. Why not? My brother's there. He threw me a bone. I was driving a 12-year-old Sonata, so I got to sell that now. It's in good shape, $7,000. Give me a call, PM me. I got a nice car available for the American public. And you could say that Johnny Trino once owned this car.
This car has once driven a 5K. This past week,
I drove it 3 times under 7 minutes.
5Ks in under 7 minutes.
I think
right there, bro.
I think my Lexus can do it under 6 minutes. There's no question about that. And I'm going to bike it this week too, baby. I got to get my ankle there though. Gotta have Dr. Sergi take
30
care of me
minutes.
tomorrow.
30 minutes.
On a bike. 30 minutes on a bike. I love it. I love it. Anyway, so I got into the car. I'm moving. There's all kinds of changes. I hate change. Pain in the ass. But that being said, don't forget the absolute best sports bar in America right now, in America, according to the Jimmy Palumbo polling, is the Pine Tar Bar and Grill here at Shea. Go down there, 121 South Main Street, Forked River, 609-489-4286. TV's all over. Talk to my buddy Tommy Plinio, or his wife's always down there. Some of my dad's pictures are hanging up. He'll show them to you. This place is awesome. Food is beyond belief. Very good shit. He's Italian. He knows what he's doing down there. Every game is on. The ones that are on Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Go check it out. Pine Tar Bar and Grill, 121 South Main Street. Also, if you're in need of a therapist, Lisa Ruane, 201-725-1251. 201-725-1251. Lisa Ruane, Ruane. She does therapist and hypnotherapy and all kinds of stuff. Good people. If you're in a jam, you're jacked up, you need some help, don't hesitate.
Yeah,
Always
like
look for it.
if you're trying to get over the mental hurdle of running a 5K, maybe
I believe it or not, I already talked to her about it. She knew I was going to be so sad to my crazy fans. Of course, Kim, look at Okie still telling me with the chicken tenders over there. I can't believe that people just whine in. They just jump in. And Okie, I still have your softballs, which I have signed. I just got to get Artie to sign them. It looks like I might see Artie next week, which would be great. But a couple of things we got to discuss. Number one, the show Yellow Jackets. I don't know what happened to that show. I think it's awful now. It's like the worst show on the air. Weird shit. They're doing like musicals in it. It was awful. Succession is become wordy and whiny. Bunch of rich kids bitching about nothing. That annoyed my soul. Broccoli sucked. Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I'll get to that in a second. My sister's chiming in on the chat room here. Succession to me is not good anymore. And, of course, Ted Lasso is still kicking ass, so I enjoy that. But I want to discuss something. Did you see the movie Air?
No.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about it.
I know what happened in the movie, though.
You know what happens. He signs with Nike. Okay. It's like a double feature is Air and Titanic. What'll happen? You think he'll sign with Nike? Here's what annoyed my soul. Again, same thing with the Jordan documentary. It's a great story about the sneaker company. They did sign Jordan and Jordan became, I get that. But they make Michael Jordan, it's like they're saints. Now his mother, bad enough I had to watch 6 episodes of that Jordan documentary, and Jordan was the greatest man alive, okay? Now I have to watch a 2-hour movie, and his mother now is Saint Teresa. And like, you know, it's like when we're going to be old men, someone's got to do a documentary called Michael Jordan's a Jerk Off. Okay. Because this guy, they make him look like he's this perfect guy, and he was not. There was all kinds of shit going on there. You know, with the baseball and the gambling. I'm just tired of it. No one, you know what it is? Everyone's afraid of Jordan. And like,
you're talking like Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's illegitimate son. And there's like a whole backstory and a YouTube. There's a lot.
Well, listen, you know,
he's from Chicago.
Yeah. See, do a documentary on that. Listen,
there's
Jordan
also
was the best. I'm not talking about as a player. Jordan was the best player ever.
About the whole gambling thing with his father. There's a lot of BS about that. There's the Isaiah Thomas story. There's a lot of things that go into the Michael Jordan thing that I agree with, but I think it makes him better. I love it. I love it all.
You love it all. Shit. Well, you should see Air. It's pretty wild. And plus, the guy Sonny Vaccaro, how he just like the coolest part of the movie to me was when they had only like 2. They were a third place. It was number 1 was Converse, number 2 was Adidas, or vice versa, I forget. And Nike only had 17% of the basketball market, and they had like but they were going through like players like John Stockton. Like, who wants that? Like, some of the players ended up being pretty good, but this guy, he only had $250,000. They were supposed to sign 4 players. That's how long ago this was. And he said, no, we're going to sign 1, Jordan. That's it. And and Jordan was great in college, but That's a lot, man. What a gamble. Talk about putting it all on, all on the number 32 to come up in whatever. I mean, that was a major gamble, but it worked out. Jordan became great, and Nike's Nike. But I just enough with this Jordan and how perfect he was, and the father's working on the car in the front yard, and the mother's having tea, and oh my God, enough already. There's like no negatives on this guy, and there had to be. You don't see the LT documentaries. Very different. Michael Jordan. LT's drinking like bourbon and neat on the rocks with the glassy eyes and shit. But the movie's very, very good. I give it a big Jimmy Palumbo 706 hat.
You wouldn't know by listening to the first. Jimmy just bashed a movie for 5 minutes.
It's good. The movie's great.
It was a very good movie.
But enough with this Jordan.
What do you expect you're gonna do? Talk shit about him in the movie that he's funding?
That's the thing. I know, but I'm tired of it. Someone fund a movie. I want to do a movie called like Shaq, Jordan were assholes, and see how many.
Yeah, but I don't know. Shaq just wasn't an asshole.
I know, but he listen to me. Nobody wanted to foul him hard because they wanted to do movies with him. Nobody wanted. It's awful. Look into that.
Who,
stat.
Jordan?
Shaq. He was getting busy doing all these different things. Everybody wanted to be hanging out,
well,
partying
also
with
because
Shaq.
he was,
and everybody wanted to foul Ewing. Ewing just wanted to get fouled.
Shaq would also got fouled more than anybody in history of the NBA, where they didn't call a foul on it.
You had to because he go to the free throw line. He looked
Shaq
like
was getting destroyed, and he was just so big that they actually changed rules where it didn't apply to him. It would be like if you're playing with a bunch of kids bigger than you, you could foul and it ain't gonna do shit. And that's what happened with Shaq. He was just too good.
See, I don't think he was too good at all.
Please stop.
Shaq best center of all time?
No.
Who's the best center of all time?
I mean, like, I didn't see enough of the best centers of all time, but what we're talking about, you can't really put him over certain guys. I think Hakeem was a little bit better than Shaq, just a little bit, but only because of head-to-head.
Was Shaq better than Ewing?
Yeah.
I don't think by that much.
I mean, he was just too good.
I guess Jabbar, you got to put Jabbar in there. I mean, guy scored 25 points a game for 25 years.
But again, if they would have just called every rule straight up, the way they called it, Shaq was getting fouled. They weren't even calling because it just, you had to do different things to stop him. Otherwise, the game would have just not continued. They would have just been a foul every play. So Shaq dealt with more. So I think there's an element that you have to factor that in a little bit.
I think I think Jordan got fouled more in any Detroit series than Shaq got fouled. All right, listen, I don't care about Shaquille. He's
Shaq.
Bumbling, and I can't. He's a bumbling idiot on that pregame show, but everybody loves it. So.
That show
doing bad jokes. Guys got a head injury. They're busting balls, and Barkley's a fool. They're all fools. Anyway, I'm a bitter Knick fan. I admit it. Bitter Knick fan. That's how it works. Now, what did you do for Mother's Day, Christopher?
I went to my sister's house in Rockaway.
Okay.
With my mother.
Up here, up Route 80 up here, Rockaway up there. North Jersey.
Morris County.
Not too far from me. Not too far. Well, that's cool. Your mother had a nice time. You took care of your mother on Mother's Day. That's very sweet.
Yes. I got a big weekend this weekend going to Dallas for that show. I'm sure you might even have a buddy that will probably be there. That autograph show. Big
Joe Covino will be there.
Probably. I mean, there's a bunch of Dallas Cowboys signings that are going to be there this weekend. It's the big Dallas card show. So they have it every 3 months. It's a big show.
And it's going to be a bunch of obnoxious Jersey people hanging out in Dallas trying to get some shitty tight end that's on the team now. Although there's some great tight ends in Cowboy history.
There'll be a bunch of people there, not just Cowboys players, but
you're going to see what's his name, the defensive back who played for the Giants too. What's his name?
Everson Walls.
Everson Walls will be there. Nice guy. He's got a great story. I, on Mother's Day, went to my sister's house, and she made a nice meal. But as she typed in here, she made shitty broccoli. She had the game won. She had a 2-foot putt for the championship. And Billy Joe Dupree, Dow just typed it. That's funny. My sister had the game won. She decided to add some goofy stuff to the broccoli, screwed up the whole thing, and we were giving her shit for it. Her husband, Steve, my brother-in-law, made great steaks on the grill. My sister just had to make the broccoli. Make the broccoli with a little garlic and oil. That's it. But no, she tried Worcestershire sauce and A1 sauce. She was getting, it's like she read a bad recipe from Parade magazine.
So Jimmy's taking no prisoners when he's talking bad about the broccoli, but your sister comes to your defense in the chat. I hope you go to the doctor. And here Jimmy is just laying it on thick. The broccoli was terrible.
Listen, the broccoli, the reason why it's funny, I actually thought it was.
At least, you know what she did?
Okay.
At least she made the broccoli, Jimmy. At least she made the broccoli. You know, she tried.
First of all, A1 sauce.
It's better than not trying at all.
First of all, around here, I thought the broccoli was actually pretty good. She was the one who thought it sucked, and I'm just busting her balls by saying she screwed up with the broccoli. But my mother was there; she loved it. We had some nice steaks. We had some potatoes and vegetable and a nice salad. It was a nice, beautiful American meal. I loved every second of it. We got to spend time with my mother, and because she wrote in, all I had to do is broccoli. She's getting pissed now. No, now you got to help me move. My sister has to help me move. That is going to be the, was it A1? That was on the table, man. A1 sauce was on the table because your husband likes A1 sauce. My father didn't know what A1 sauce was. My sister's got to help me move, and that's it. That's what you have to do. She'll come up. If I move, if my sister helps me move, I could probably use a Volkswagen to move my stuff. She'll be throwing out everything. Leave it. I have to move. I'm very depressed over that. But anyway, all right. So shout out to my mom for Mother's Day, and to your mom, and to Dave's mom. What does Dave call his a bonus mom? I was kidding around with it. I love that. Bonus mom. It just, instead of being like stepmom, sounds like the evil stepmom, like from the Disney things. But bonus mom's like an added value. That's so great. I love it. I texted him that when he was shooting photos over of his kids, and bonus mom. That's my new phrase of the week. I should get like a bonus chick. What do you think? It's like, if you're married, you have a bonus girl.
They have, that's called side chick or something, But come on, bro.
One of the Daryl just wrote in, I'll help you move. Oh, wait, my ankle's hurt. It's a good one. Listen, the jokes are, except for Christopher, the jokes are high end.
Gout flare up.
Well, we're going to find that out. May not be. I'm not so, I'm moving to the same town, Troy. Don't worry about it.
He ain't moving anywhere.
I got to be next to my.
He can't move. He's got a bum ankle.
I'll be moving. Plus, I can't go far from my daughter. So I'll be up here in Bergen County, probably Mawa. But that's it. Listen, that's all we got here, Christopher.
Got a lot of hills in Mawa, though. You're going to run a 5K up there?
I might run one this Saturday just to piss you off and come in.
You better come to Merrill Park and run the 5K there.
Oh, what is it? Maybe I'll do it there. I'll make you videotape it.
I made it up. Fine. I'll be there. I'll meet you there.
Yeah, because you can't run it. You're not running a 5K.
I'm not saying I'm running a 5K.
Yeah, but you can't, because you can't run one. That's why.
I can't.
And you wouldn't even say I could run faster than you.
Wait, say that again.
Can you run a 5K?
100%.
See, why would you do that? Why would you poke the bear here, Shay?
Jimmy, I've been poking the bear for at least a month on end right now. And
that's because you do the show for the last month.
But all I'm going to do is poke the bear a little more, because it's just, we got more time now.
I have baseball cards.
That guy wasn't even running a 5K either.
Johnny Trino's running the 5K. That's what it is.
It looks like he's training. It looks, based on the post you've been making, it looks like he's training in that picture right there for the 5K.
Listen, I have a unique training style, and kids at home love it, and that's it. All right, that's show number 1. I can't believe we've done 113 of these. That's nuts. Yeah. Shout out to OxyMagicUSA.com, possible new sponsor. Of course, Absolute Eyewear, Pine Tar Bar and Grill, and CornholeLevel.com, and ChasingMiracles.com. She's been sending me patches and all this different stuff, trying to get my health better. And a shout out to my sister Marilyn, who did a great job cleaning up, really, for Mother's Day. It was much needed. And a shout out to my mom, who's, she's a trooper. All right, we'll see you. Goodbye, everybody. Another show in the books. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, buddy.
See you, bro.